Do you ever think that joy takes more courage than sadness? When I was a young kid, one Friday night, we were sitting, my mother, my aunt, we were all talking and enjoying, and suddenly the earth started shaking, like really the building in which we were in, it started shaking, and it was really scary. And my aunt ran to the door frame, and she said that's a safe place to stand in when there's an earthquake. And I had no idea, I had never heard about an earthquake before. It was obviously something that shook me, and even thankfully there was nothing serious that happened, but even afterwards there was this fragility of life that I was made aware of that I wasn't before. Like, really, life can change in an instant. Like, this whole building could have fallen apart, right? And I'm sure even if you have not experienced an earthquake, whatever challenges you had in your life, there was for sure a time when you were shaken to your core and you realized how life is fragile. And in some ways, it can make us lose trust in life and be afraid to indulge in joy, to really give our heart to joy. And Brene Brown, who researches vulnerability, she says that it takes more strength, more courage to lean into joy than it takes to lean into pain. So I heard an interesting and important thing for why we should actually exercise indulging into joy. And that is because we as human beings, when we go through difficult times, what helps us through is our resilience. So how do we build that resilience? That resilience gets built when we are in good times and we fill our cup, we fill ourselves up with good feelings and good memories and good connections. And these things keep us strong even during the dark days. So that is why we need to, for ourselves and for our children, encourage ourselves to lean into joy. It takes a lot of courage, but it's still an incredibly important thing, because otherwise, how will we get through the hard days, right? So I heard an interesting advice yesterday from Karen Walrond. She says every single day she writes down at least one thing that was good that day. So sometimes during the day, she's going to start focusing on finding something good, because like, how will she be able to make this day good to be able to write about it? And one day she had a horrible, tragic thing happen in her town when there was a Hurricane Harvey, that really destroyed her home, like literally flooded it in water. And from one minute to the other, their whole everything was lost, right? And it was a very traumatic time, but she says what got me through was keeping that ritual of constantly, every single day, finding something good in that day. And she says, ironically, during the hard times, it was so much easier to find the good things. There was like somebody showing up at the door asking if they can help clean up the house from the flood. There was like a neighbor who took them in. And it's those things that keep us going, the things that we allow ourselves to enjoy in life. So I hope this helps you, and to help you enjoy your weekend, and in general in life, to have the courage to lean into joy, because that's what gets us through the hard times. Thank you for listening.